Wow, good morning from sacred space at Titania's realm. It's 11:17 a.m. on the 31st of January 2024. Not long gotten out of bed. Woke up at 9:57 a.m. so just before 10, and was only up a couple of times during the night to pee, so that medication seems to be working. I'm getting longer blocks of time between needing to pee, but I'm still up, so it hasn't changed that. So it's not really, it's not really working in the sense that I get any real rest. But yeah, I was up at 3 a.m. 3:36 a.m. it was, and I lasted until almost 10 a.m. so that's 7 hours without needing to pee. So it's starting to shift. Now I just need it to work through the night so that I can get a complete block of sleep and REM and return to my psychedelic dreaming and heal my brain and stave off potential dementia or any other brain disorders. Oh dear goddess. Oh dear God, that really fucking put the wind up me, that did. I'm telling you now. But anyway, so weird thing was I woke up, and as is my usual habit, I switched on my iPhone because I'm addicted to my iPhone. It's getting to be a bit of a worry actually. And for some reason oh yes, so it flicked up, someone had put a like on a comment that I'd written in the messages. It was a comment that I'd written to my caseworker. So that drew my attention to look at my messages in my iPhone. Wow, I was utterly astonished to see this random number come up, and I'm thinking, who is that? They hadn't texted or messaged me. They haven't contacted me since the 12th of December, since they got COVID, and after leading me up the garden path with promises of sex and, extreme devotion and true love. I mean, you have to laugh. And I referred to that person yesterday in my video as a twat gobbler, because he was a bit of a twat, who behaves like that? Anyway, would you believe his number flicks up? He hasn't messaged me, there's no new messages or anything, but the algorithms or the Optus record keeping, I don't even know how it works. Some fucking spy bot with a twisted sense of humour sent me the whole ream of our conversation in text up until the 12th of December. And I'm like, why has this been sent to me when I haven't made contact with this man ever again, apart from my little niggles on my YouTube videos, which probably he doesn't watch anymore because he ended it with me over nothing really. So I thought, well, fuck you, fuck you all. But anyway, this weird thing, it pops up the whole ream of conversation. And why have all these texts come through to my iPhone all of a sudden now on the 31st of January? I thought, I haven't texted him, I haven't messaged him. In fact, the previous, I think it wasn't last night, but the night before, I actually went through on Facebook Messenger, and because I had kept the record of all our interactions, because it was just so strange really, the whole thing. So I was analysing it, every now and then, why did that go? How did that happen? What was that conversation about? Why did this even happen to me? I still can't work it out, right? I'm a bit dumb sometimes. I still don't like to believe that someone's just a fucking narcissist or a sociopath and it's taking the piss, right? Still in denial about that after all my experiences with narcopaths in my own family. I should know better. But anyway, so there is that. So I had actually deleted the messenger conversation. Just deleted it, thought that's it, done, finished, don't need to look at that anymore, moving on. hopefully I'll meet someone lovely in the future. Well, one can only hope. Hasn't happened in almost 59 years, but Mama T still lives in fairyland, right? I'm cute and I'm adorable. Anyway, so I thought, all right, I'll clean that out. And I had already, some time ago, deleted all those texts that were going between his phone number and my phone number on my iPhone. So you can imagine the shock when I wake up this morning and that's all regurgitated back to me. Like, someone out there doesn't want me to let go, and someone out there, I don't know who that entity is, wanted me to revisit our conversations. So anyway, I skimmed through it and I was just raving to him about telling him how I'd met this gay man at the club who was crying over his mother and how I was being called into service as a shamanic healer, and he was, he was, to all intents and purposes, very supportive and loving, and said, that's really lovely, and just didn't really say too much, but I could see he was being quite supportive at the time. So I thought, oh well, there you go. There was a potential for a nice friendship with that, but it went bad, and I still don't know exactly why. Probably he thought I was too crazy. Lots of men think that, because I won't be controlled or dominated, so then you're deemed crazy, right? Or he realised that I don't have any money, and so I'm not an asset to his enhancing his financial existence, so he gave me the flick. And look, that's okay. That's okay. People will do that. They're mercenary, and everyone's desperate to survive, and it's dog eat dog, and they're quite happy to fuck a woman and use and abuse her sexually, but when it comes to actually providing, they head for the hills. And I guess if I was mercenary, I'd be out fucking and using people too, and head for the hills if it gets serious, since I've got nothing really to offer. Like, I too could play those games. I just don't, because I have this ridiculous schoolgirl idea that someone out there with enough couth and grace and basic human decency, who has enough money to support himself, might actually take me on, that he can actually, afford to have a woman in his life. I don't really want to be supported per se. Look, the whole thing is kind of icky, quite frankly. I'm okay staying on my little disability pension till I die. After all, how many years have I got allotted to me anyway? How long is a piece of string? I don't really want to be a kept woman or at any man's mercy. The whole point of doing the silversmithing larky, which I have not succeeded at yet, was to be financially independent and not have to rely on the pension either. Get off the whole fucking grid and support myself. Well, that was another big fantasy that's almost as much an impossible dream as me finding a love partner. So there is that. So sorry, but I get a bit depressed when I think about all the enormity and all the obstacles in my way, which I chew at like a tiny little rat biting down a castle, one little granule at a time, gnawing at it to hopefully succeed one day, bring down the establishment, build my life back up and be successful again. The establishment being my invisible glass ceiling that I can never break through, because I'm trapped in a kind of a hell loop. I really am. I realised it years ago, so I'm not lying when I say I'm in a hell loop. Look at this. Look at this. Even the algorithms or some spy bot throws some form of flame into my face, as if to say, revisit that, hoping that I would have a knee-jerk reaction, go into, fantasy mode and contact that guy and say, so what actually did happen on the 12th of December? But you know what? I'm not chasing after a man. Like, fuck off. They treat me with contempt and disdain. Oh shit, I forgot to put my rubbish out. Can I make it? Oh, it doesn't matter now. Oh, it kind of does, because I've got recycling to go out. Come on, we'll do a little walk. They treat me with contempt and disdain, so, like, really? I'm not going to make it. That's unusual. 2 trucks doing the same route. I'll watch him as he goes. Oh well. Mama T. Oh no, he's backing up. Right, he's backing up. We're going to do the sprint, people. This little game we play. Yibbity, 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 yibbity. Mama T can do anything. She can get her rubbish out. She can perform. I perform. Oh dear goddess, no I don't. My red bin's empty, and both bins are empty. Isn't that weird? Oh well, all that worry for nothing. Don't have to worry. We can relax now. Do you want to see my fish pond while we're out here? Isn't it lovely? Alrighty, here we go, back up the steps. Climbing the stairway to sacred space. Not in heaven yet, darlings. We're not in heaven yet. Right, here we go. Whew. So what was I saying? Oh yes, I'm not crawling after any men. I'm not begging for male attention. I'm an independent woman. I'm going to prosper and thrive, hopefully one day by some miracle. After my readings yesterday, where I was telling you how Spirit led me to start the silversmithing journey. If the gods want me to prosper and thrive and have wealth, the gods will bring it to me because they can see I can't do it on my own. My health's deteriorating. I live in an apocalypse, and human men have let me down over and over and over again as far as romantic love interests, and lied and deceived and betrayed and despoiled and soiled and broken me. So I have to do it on my own, and I don't think I can now. I'm too old and I'm too tired, and I'm too weakened. But the gods are good. The gods are great. A lovely sunny day today. You'll probably notice when I took us outside. And the gods are smiling down upon me. They go, come on Tanya, buck up. You can do it, baby girl. We've seen you do it before. I had a thriving business with my husband as a young woman, and it thrived because he was basically lazy and resented working for his wife and children. And the food was good, and we gave good quantities, which was my idea. And because we were in competition with KFC at the time. And people came to my shop because they actually liked me and they liked my personality, and it was so fucking busy sometimes. So there was that. So I'm not a complete failure or a loser. The only reason I failed and lost was because of my former family and former husband. And had I been with the right person who actually was loving and supportive and didn't stab me in the face and in the back at every opportunity, and I knew I could trust them, we would have been highly successful people. We would have gone on to bigger and greater things. But I lost interest in even aligning with that creature, you know. Excuse me. You can't prosper or thrive when you're with someone who's malevolent and backstabbing and treacherous and fucking borderline and vicious. You just can't. All your efforts are sabotaged. All your dreams turn to dust and ashes in front of your eyes, and you end up depressed and ill, and eventually you have to leave just to save your own fucking self and your children, by the way. Well, anyway, here we are, 29 years and 30 days later, strutting my stuff. So, but yes, I just found it incredibly odd that those reams of text and conversation came through from Simon Davidson. It was very peculiar. Has nothing to do with him, by the way. I don't know how it happened, but it wasn't, there was no message from him, so it's not his doing. It was just, I don't know, odd that should come up. Anyway, so maybe the spirit, the namesake Davidson, was trying to take the piss or something, who knows, or it's some fault with Optus, or it's some weird thing. Anyway, I'm not upset about it. I just read through it and went, there's nothing wrong with what I was saying, and I hadn't done anything wrong, and maybe I needed that confirmation that it wasn't anything I'd done wrong, and, you know, just so I have that peace of mind to move on, really. Wasn't madly in love with him anyway. I'd only just fucking barely met him. You know, the person I was madly in love with years ago also pops up from time to time, and it's like the ghost of the Texas Lover Man. I used to play that full ball regularly because it just tickles my sense of humour. They're not even ghosts. Well, one is a ghost, but the others aren't even ghosts. They're just zombie NPC men with no heart and soul towards me that pop up like one of those duck games at a fair that you got to just try and shoot them down as they're moving past. You're like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? So anyway, life goes on, people. At least I can laugh about it. That's all I've got left is my tumescent humour now. Anyway, we continue reading with readings from Even Day. It's very hot today. It's already 30 degrees this morning. It doesn't feel all that hot. I actually got to sleep in my own bed last night because it was cool enough that I could lie in my bed without suffering. So it was nice to have my bed back. And yeah, anyway, just wait for this truck to go. They are annoying that it's Wednesday. So. They're living their best lives. I'm living my best life, and on we go. I'm astonished I don't have any rubbish in my bins. I've got a little bit of rubbish in my kitchen. It's not worth running out for a little bit. Anyway. Memories, 31 January 2024. From little singing messages to icky stalkers and onwards to my own recalibration and self-determination. Just try and set this iPhone up so I don't have to use my hands to hold it. I'm gonna relax. I put a lovely photo up of my limes from my garden. Had absolute abundance on this day. There you go, just gorgeous. So now I'll set the phone up again. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to be organised, people. So 31st of January 2023. I had a lovely time at my hairdresser. I met another of her clients, a lovely woman who comes from South Africa, who has German Jewish ancestry. We had a wonderful time telling wild and funny but true stories. I really liked her too. Yeah, it's a shame, didn't swap numbers or something. Lovely woman. Plus my hair looks great again. Thanks, Kylie, for a lovely day. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Here's me with my hair done. I scrub up okay when I come from the hairdresser. But the next day I look all wild and woolly again. It's ironic, I used to have dead straight hair as a child from the age of 3 up until only a few years ago. And David Davidson, my ex-lover, the spook that still haunts me, who was so malevolent to me, asked me one time when in our connection, our treatment, when he was performing as my homeopath, which was a violation of boundaries actually, given that we were lovers. But anyway, he asked me one time, do you it was weird how he came out with it actually, thinking about it. He said, oh, did you ever wish you had curly hair? I said to him, well, I had curly hair up until the age of 3, and then it all went dead straight. And I said, and I was a platinum pure white blonde until the age of 11, and then it turned mousy brown. I said, I presume because of hormones. He looked at me, oh, would you like to have curly hair again? It's a very strange thing to come up with. Probably my mother in the background telling him how she wishes I would get a perm and that, because she always wanted me to perm my hair. So anyway, I looked at him and said, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind if my hair was curly. I said, it's so dead straight and lank and boring. I said, but there's nothing I can do about it. He said, I'll put you on a remedy. He said, but he said, as you get older, he said, your hair will be curly. So I don't know, maybe he was clairvoyant and could see into the future, because look at me. It's not curly, but it's got a natural wave in it. So, yeah. So I get my hair straightened by my hairdresser when she blow waves it. And then the next day, but I don't mind. I'm happy to have wavy, curly hair. So I could straighten it myself by blow waving it too, if I want to, but I don't. I bought the special brush and everything to do it. I just don't worry, you know. Hair's hair, it hangs around, it does its thing. My main things are I like it to be long, which in summer is getting a bit hot, by the way, but yeah, I like to have length in my hair. 9:47 a.m. This is still on the 2023, people. Not much sleep, about 3 hours, maybe not even quite that much. Shoulder is painful, but up and at 'em. Have a good day, people. Much love from Titania's realm. I suspect Mama T is going to be a bit cray-cray today. Not enough sleep will do that to her, smiley face. Let us see what magic we can manifest today. And by that I mean actual magic, not sex, people. Just a little reminder to the boys in the room, you know. Calm your farm, boys. Calm your farm. The sex thing hasn't happened for almost a decade, so we're not bothered. I'm not bothered. Just didn't appreciate being led down that path and then left hanging high and dry and wry after getting excited about the prospect. Anyway, Mr. Lover, who claimed to be a passionate Russian Sagittarius, couldn't handle my Polish German passionate Aries energy. Oh well, COVID is scary. I thought I was going to die and didn't, and fought like a wildebeest against it. So maybe he got even more sicker than I did, and maybe he was a bit fucking running scared, as you do in the face of death. I need to remind you all, death comes to us all, people, eventually. So harden the fuck up and get on with living life joyously, rambunctiously, and with great dignity and integrity and heartfelt centeredness, because when we die, do we want to be going back over our life thinking about all the stupid games we played on all the stupid women who fell for it, when we could have been making sweet love with our true beloveds? I mean, it's pathetic, people. It really is a bit pathetic. 4:26 a.m. unable to sleep all night long. The skin cancer mishigas, that's Yiddish for craziness, really trauma activates me badly, even though my skin doctor was pleasant and thorough. He's so thorough you feel like you're in a production line, in and out, in and out, in and out. Next. But he is a decent human being though. It's not creepy. I'll give him that. He's a mensch. Another devout Muslim man. So there is that. That's two men that I can say have been decent towards me that happen to also be Muslim. So, lovely. Don't worry, I've met plenty of Muslim men that were creepy and vile though, especially up at that casino. So don't worry, I'm not idealising, and I'm not idealising. I'm well aware of each person is their own soul and has their own attributes that they bring to the table. And I just rejoice when people are decent and kind and honouring. Why wouldn't I, after the life I've had? I got to thinking about all the other weirdness over the past month. Spiritual attacks, and even a poltergeist manifesting mischief with my cleaning lady on Friday. Nothing serious, just turned off the switch at the power board at the wall. Which is pretty full on, but nothing serious or anything. Just interfering with my electrical currents. It's probably a metaphor for that too. Anyway, then today finding out my mower man has quit, he did not bother to inform me of that. So I got upset about the need to find another mower personage, especially as the grass is growing madly. My daughter, who rang me, teased me jokingly that I was an entitled, bougie white person, expecting that poor Muslim man to mow in 31 degrees Celsius heat. She was winding me up, of course, but I am not entitled or unfucking reasonable. Neither am I racist. The lawns need mowing every 2 weeks in summer, and I waited patiently for a response. It was incredibly rude to quit without telling me. I have a feeling he's quit again, you know. I've had no response. I sent him a text yesterday saying when can he come, and no reply. So what am I going to do? I can't afford it when it gets out of control. Housing charged me $1,000 the last time at night. They needed to bring a slasher in here. It was savage what they did to me. Absolutely savage. My caseworker promised she will find a new mower man, and I trust she will. She is strong and determined and a little bolshy like me. No, they resolved it by paying Abdu extra money, which was kind of them, and he continued to work, with them and for me on this land, which I am grateful for, Abdu. Please don't quit on me. I don't want to have to break in another lawnmower man and hope that he's not a fucking creep. That's why I encourage him to pay you extra. We just need someone that does the job and isn't fucking sadistic and lascivious with me, It's awful. I need protection. I need the grass mowed so my home is kept pristine. I need my home to be safe, looked after and stable. Otherwise I unravel into trauma activation and madness. Along with this issue, I'm worried the price will go up. The cost of cleaning went up, not a lot, but enough to make things a bit of a struggle. I could sacrifice having a cleaner once a week but the mowing is a necessity. I sold my self-propelled mower since I was unable to manage the lawn by myself. This land really needs a ride-on mower. And they cost 6 to 10k, not something I can ever afford. I'm just leaving my body. Can you see me leaving my body? I'm like, I can't do this life much longer, struggling over fucking bullshit. Because ultimately it is bullshit. Anyway, I'm sure it will get done in time, at great expense to someone, probably me. Well, I don't have the money, so it better not come to that. So along with the newly carved flesh, I have worries about lawn mowing, money, my mean-spirited teasing daughter who accuses me of entitlement when I need a regular job done, and also my sudden obsession over my long flailing love life. It's no wonder I can't bloody sleep. I slept enough for decades. Now I'm awake, aware and sleepless in Brisbane and on the fine razor's edge of going completely berserk. But sighs, tomorrow, or rather later today, I am getting my hair done, so I will be a glamorous berserker. Or is that a bourgeois berserker like Boadicea? I will probably fall asleep in Kylie's chair while I wait for my foils to set. I used to do that years ago. P.S. I will forgive my daughter as she just moved house, so is exhausted and not in her right mind. Smiley face. I think she's in the throes of moving house at the moment, but we're estranged and we're not talking, but I'm sure she's equally stressed at this time of year. So there is that. I had an urge to contact her yesterday, but I thought, no, the way she treated me when I said that I felt that I was dying was awful. So no, if there's any grovelling to do or peacemaking to do or sublimating to do, it has to come from her because I am the mother. She owes me an apology. I have been dying on and off for many years with very, very frail health and very, very life-threatening situations many, many times. So if I say I feel like I'm dying, I'm talking from lived experiences where I actually came close to death before. So if she can't see that, fuck off. Seriously. Well, she has fucked off, so there is that. End of rant. Look at all the energetic people riding their bicycles up the hill. Champions. The man in front looked older than me. There's hope for me yet. Maybe I should buy a bicycle. You can ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. Then I realise I don't have the lung capacity. I have to be gentle with myself. Oh dear goddess. 31st of January 2021. I said, socks, smile, and he lifted his head up. His bowl is empty as he just devoured all his cat biscuits. So he is well satiated and content, loud, orgasmic, purring. And here he is. He's not exactly smiling, but he looked up at Mama when I said, smile, socks, smile. Oh well, there he is, our beautiful boy, Sally Castle, and my beautiful boy. And I've accidentally pressed the on-off button. Here we go, sign in. Come on. Yes, I know, it was my fault. This time it was my malfunction, not the computer being weird. Alright, here we go. Possum is enjoying his or her nectarine. There she is. Gorgeous little thing she is. I haven't had a possum in the box for a long time and I don't know why they stopped using it. Obviously they don't feel safe. The dog's been dead now since 1st of August, so it's not because of the dog preventing them from feeling safe. I don't know why they're not using the box. But anyway, I gave her a nectarine and she was a happy little poss. Here I posted a meme from the Joker, which I really fucking loved that movie. It was absolutely right out of my life. Especially the scenes where he's sitting reading stories to his narcissistic mother who couldn't actually give a shit about him. And he was just trying to be a loving son. I used to do that, read to my mother and tell her my dreams. She insisted on me telling her my dreams every morning so she could analyse them and use them against me. Oh, she was an evil piece of shit, she really was. But yeah, him, trying to get love from his mother, it was just awful. I walked out of that cinema and literally almost fainted. That's how realistic to my life it was. Don't judge my story by the chapter you walked in on. Please don't. You've got no idea what I've been through. No idea. Not really. 31st of January 2020. Today I slept until 12:30 p.m. I was utterly exhausted after my week of earache and hypomania. I just had a shower and now have a slight nausea. I had to finish off washing my hair in cold water as I worried I might either throw up or faint. Nothing to worry about, as this is common when I get heat exhausted or dehydrated. Pardon me. I felt awful yesterday, so drank lots more water, then recovered a bit late at night. I have to go for my debrief at 3 p.m. and was hoping to make it to ecstatic dance, but with the current feeling of weakness, I might not push myself. Pardon me. This ear problem has really knocked me around, but like everything else, it will pass. Like a kidney stone, but it will pass. I still get regular problems with my ears. It's a bit of a worry, actually. I might drink some more water right now so I can summon the energy to get to my psychiatrist, who I do prioritise because he's not just been a psychiatrist to me, he's been a friend and a brother and an advocate and fought for me. He's a wonderful human being. Love you, Brian. 31 January 2019. I finally sat down on the couch, flicked on the TV, and yes! Vikings came on. Brilliant, serendipitous timing. I have been down in the schwitzing heat to the Salvation Army with a car full of clothes and old cushions. Then I did some grocery shopping. So 2019, I was still decluttering stuff from my mother, those old cushions. That was what, 10 years after her death or 12 years after I got given her chattels. Far out, man. Far the fuck out. It was 9 years after her death, so it was 11 years after I was given her chattels. But anyway, my feet and ankles hurt from swelling from the heat. Ouchies. On a happy note, it's slightly cooler this evening. 10:42 a.m. Schwitzing, that means sweating. Too bloody hot, going out of my mind while sipping a hot cup of tea, which is probably contributing to the epic schwitzing. I am incongruent like that. Last night I ate way too much ice cream in a self-soothing attempt to cool my gums. It worked while I was absorbing all those yummy calories. I can't complain. It was nice to have ice cream. I haven't kept it in the house for a while. Doesn't actually agree with me because I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't keep it in the house very often because it comes at great personal risk, people. Just saying. I got to thinking about my life. I feel grateful for my psychiatrist, who is determined to keep on with the psychotherapy and who is patiently waiting for me to turn my life around. I can almost feel a change coming, but only time and healing and little miracles manifested each day will bring me to a new paradigm. Now, I wrote this in 2019, and then January 2021 was when I had Spirit ordering me to go and buy those gold cufflinks, right? Start my silversmithing journey. Just had the most delicious scent of cooked onions wafting through the windows. I love onions. They don't agree with me anymore either, but I do love them. My doctor says the man I remained deeply in love with was cruel and passive-aggressive, in that he gave me a snippet of love, made me feel safe, then ripped it all away from me. Yup, I know. I know I deserve a partner that doesn't use other women, former friends and new conquests, to hurt and humiliate me. I know I deserve a partner that sees me, even with all my broken damage, and lifts me up and holds space for me, protects and honours me, and loves me in a way that I feel completely safe, valued, cherished, and never betrays or leaves me on a churlish whim. Which was why I got so upset over this last guy, Simon Davidson, because that is another repeat pattern of that, is it not? So it doesn't matter in the broad scheme of things, you know, it's just some bloke on the internet, but, you know, I thought he was, his intentions were heartfelt and honourable when he did actually meet me at that park in that closed up coffee shop. I thought, oh, this person's actually serious. No, another game player. So hence my rage at being played again. And it's okay. It's okay, because the right man will come along and won't do things like that. Hopefully not, because if they do things like that, they're not the right man, darlings. I deserve that much, and it's a lot, but like a mental patient, I took the scraps and tiny pieces of heart and soul that were thrown at me with no intention of giving me anything real. It actually hurts, like my throat just fucking closed up. It hurts to even read this. And I made a shrine so divine and so glorious that ultimately it was only my own love that would buoy me up and bolster me when time and again they turned my glorious, determined, strong heart into a desecrated, bullet-sprayed piece of molten cheese. But I regrew it, reframed it, duct taped it, blew life back into it, blossomed, still and forever blossoming. Oh, how they hate that. My magic, my bliss, my mana. But I was born this way. This is my life's purpose, to go where angels fear to tread, and to love myself in such a way that I am safe and deeply respected and unconditionally loved. Here I post an article. Breakfast is no longer the most important meal of the day. New study. And I tagged my nephew, Mark Cohen. Skipping breakfast is okay after all. I did it for many years. So you were right, and I stand corrected, nephew. 31st of January 2018. Jared is right. The moon is a hologram illusion, and NASA forgot to show the right slides. All we got was clouds and a tiny seductive peak when some clouds teasingly displayed the elusive, eclipsing moon. Bah! So annoying. But at least I was bathed in moonlight last night. Hologram or not, it was a lovely sight. But Jenny and I sat patiently, hoping to see tonight's display. Nada. Jenny's comments here. Oh well, it would have been worse if it decided to appear after the eclipse had happened. But as it is, apart from it being a flirty tease earlier on, the moon has stayed hidden and dodged the cat having a fiddle with the cow, de Bobo laugh, and the dish doing whatever with the spoon, lol. Thanks for your lovely company. I have enjoyed it as usual. Kiss, kiss. Well, that was epic. Next time I will order online. I am buggered. This is in response to an earlier comment. I need to get myself to the shops. I have a craving for watermelon, of all things. Also, I want a cheap bottle of wine to sit out tonight and watch the full moon eclipse with. I might be in pain, but I will squeeze every moment out of every day and night. Life is for celebrating. I booked an appointment for my doctor tomorrow at 1 p.m. That would have been an almighty bloody waste of time. She was utterly useless. Honestly, here I write, honestly I think it is useless. But the numbness in the left shin is a concern now. Lots of resting and drinking water is in order, methinks. I had a strange epiphany in the shower. What if we all cut the programming out of our life? Throw out all the words, the Torah, Shakespeare, the stories of our lives which constantly embroil us in the same tropes of rich and poor, slavery and freedom, love and unrequited love, and just silently, wordlessly, mindfully embrace life, drank her down deep, and took responsibility for our existence, our paradigm, our belief systems, and healed ourselves and each other. What if I stopped writing weird thoughts on Facebook and got a life? What if I were another kind of Tanya? Imagination wreaks havoc with my chosen plan, laughing my ass off. I would bend over and tickle my toes, but it hurts too much. 1:39 p.m. I just woke up. I took an NDEP, more useless drugs that you can poke a stick at 3:50 a.m. which combined with the Valium I took early in the night finally allowed me to sleep at 6 a.m. I woke up at 10, to pee of course, and I fell back into bed until now. 7 hours sleep. Thank you, Hashem. I was getting a tad hysterical. Leg still hurts. Awaiting Tarina, who is coming to visit this Arvo. I have had a shower to wash my hair. Semi-humanoid again. Really thirsty. Must make a cup of tea. I drank water during the night because the constant half-hourly peeing made me feel wrung out and dehydrated. But here I am, rising and shining. 1:50 a.m. Unable to sleep as the pain is so intense. I took a Valium at 12:30 a.m. to try to quell my rising panic and hoping it would knock me down to sleep. Instead, I needed to pee every hour. My left leg feels cold to the touch and unnaturally tight. This is the beginning of day 6 of sciatica. So, as I don't know what else to do, I'm having a hot bath with the remainder of Epsom salts. I need to drive to Capalaba Produce to buy more in bulk. I'm utterly exhausted, but unable to shut down my mind. It feels like dying, but then of course, that is me getting worn out from 5 intense days of pain, which no pain relief assisted. Not endone, I took one yesterday, nor Endep, had 3, 1 each night, but skipped last night's dose as I realised it wasn't helping as well as it did for the TMJ pain last November. I guess if no better or worse tomorrow, I will go to the hospital. I don't think I can hold out like this for much longer. It's a ridiculous way to be, end-stage trauma patient with a crushed disc or nerve or what. I must be strong and carry on. It's only a thigh, shin and ankle radiating pain in waves. I have endured much, much worse. The 3 to 4 months last year with jaw and teeth pain was epic. But there came a point I considered suicide when the pain did not abate. Well, I won't be going there again. Save that for the heavy-duty stuff. Sorry to be such a baby, but it's 2 a.m. and I have nothing better to do than weigh my options and balance my emotions. Not even sure why I bother fighting death and illness so hard when it's inevitable anyway. But there is that sexy moon, and you know, the fantasy of a better future. Oh dear goddess, it's ridiculous. It really is. I will ask the angels to hasten my recovery or to let me go gently. Not a coward, but I'm so tired of battling every aspect of my life, getting nowhere but broken down physically and mentally. Floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. Whatever. I am loved, I am powerful, and I shall begin again after this illness passes, as I have always done. So that was 2018, people. Here we are, 6 years later. 31st of January 2017. Watered back garden, filled Bobo's pool, scrubbed one of the woolen rugs that the cats had shat on too many times, hosed it off, draped it over washing line, heavy, topped up the large fish pond. I ended up chucking that rug on the compost in the end. It just was too rotten, which was a shame. It was a beautiful rug. Came from my mother, actually. Anyway, it is what it is, babies. Sometimes you just have to let things go. Made a nest for baby sulky chicks. They wanted to snuggle under my neck, which I let them do for a while I watered. But I got worried Bobo might get hold of them, so I made a nest and put them back in the coop. They refused to nest and set up baby screeching hoo and cries, so I put a piece of woolen blanket over the nest box and covered them over. Instant quiet, bless them. Lawnmower man rang me. He is mowing tomorrow, so I need to get to an ATM tonight or tomorrow morning. He insisted on cash, that creepy, lascivious, slimy bastard, that one. Anyway, so he was dodging all his taxes as well as predating on female customers. Fucking creep. Anyway, I'm not opposed to people being paid in cash. I don't want a cashless, society. Money makes the world go round and round and round, especially having enough of it, people. Cash is king. But he was a creep, though. He really was. Apart from that, he was a creep. Debrief from my psych tomorrow afternoon. The days are melting like a Salvador Dali painting. My feet and legs are aching as if I have been dancing all night. Exhausted. At QML, finally getting a blood test that was ordered 11 months ago. Jared wrote, "What changed your mind?" Me. Not being able to sleep. I woke up at 8:30 a.m. Had still not eaten at 10 a.m, so thought, bugger it, carpe diem. I went straight down to Holland Park to get it done, so I can forget about it. She had little trouble finding a vein this time. It was done very quickly, as my veins tend to collapse and they have all sorts of trouble even getting blood out of me. It's like getting blood out of a stone, getting blood out of me. But so I commented that it happened easily for a change. I need to see doctor in 2 weeks, next payday, for the results. My blood pressure was high. I have gained 6 kilos. So we'll have to walk more, which is hard, as I still feel weak after that toothy ordeal that lasted 2 months. Oh well. Might buy a yoga mat and start doing yoga stretches in my backyard. I need to regain my strength, or what is left of it. Well, I bought the yoga mat, but the yoga didn't really happen, people. It's hard to get me to commit to anything, really. That's the problem. I'm not into exercise. I enjoy dancing, though. It's the only exercise I do now. I used to love swimming, too, when I had easy access to a swimming pool, but I have an open invitation to go to my friend Lynn's, but it's a 25-minute drive in the scathing heat. Half the time, by the time I get there, I'm so exhausted I don't even bother having the swim that I actually went there for, so I don't bother now, really. I do love swimming, though. That's the only other exercise I enjoy. So, and I walk around the block usually once a day, but I haven't for about a week. So that's not good, because that little tiny bit of extra exercise is all I really get. I had a bad night last night, between the racing thoughts and the constant peeing every hour, and so annoying. I got little sleep. Finally at 2 a.m. I took a Valium as my mind would not shut down for the night. Which, I don't ever take Valium anymore, because you know what? My mind doesn't shut down for a reason. I'm usually regurgitating stuff, or I'm analysing stuff, and I just have to go with it. You can't live your life on fucking pharmaceuticals, people. You have to just ride that fucking wave. But here I am, all thrown out of left field and discombobulated on this new medication for my bladder. So I think that's why I'm a bit everywhere at the moment, you know. But you got to do what you got to do. It's I think today is the 9th day, so hopefully it'll start recalibrating. But by the gods, if I get dementia or Alzheimer's, I will suicide, people. I swear to the gods. The price of being able to pee normally, if the price of being able to pee normally and sleep through the night is Alzheimer's, it's not fucking worth it. It's really not. I had a lovely time with Jared yesterday. Today I'm going to the doctor to get my medical certificate signed off for my driving licence for another year. Then going to pick up some baby silkies for Miss Frida to raise. I will buy more grain for the hens and chick feed for the chicks. Awesome. It is another hot day, but all is well at Sacred Space. 31st of January 2016. I think I overdid the dancing this weekend. Very likely. I had a great time, but I can't feel my legs. It's like walking around like a pudding. Blancmange, squishy, fruity, hot patootie. I think I'm going to die soon. Well, I didn't, did I, baby cakes? So I will keep having fun until it all comes to a sticky pudding end. Oh my God, I need sweets, lol. My beautiful Karen left me some Maltesers. As soon as I get out of the bath, I will have them, then slip into a diabetic coma for 12 hours. Yeah, baby. Not really a diabetic, as far as I know, but I will be dreaming the dreams of the just and awesome. 9:50 p.m. Eating breakfast. Stir-fried veggies with eggs and rice. I am hungry as a horse after dancing all night and sleeping all day. At least I don't feel so weak and dizzy now. Was a bit wobbly an hour ago. Food is life. I had Himalayan salt in my food, but yes, I must have been dehydrated. I had tummy upset last night, still went dancing, rocked out for hours, then came home and had a hot bath, then slept all day and evening. So lots of water tonight. They promise 35 degrees Celsius tomorrow and 39 on Tuesday. I put a frozen water bottle in with the silkies as the hens started dying of heat exhaustion in this weather. Which is why I don't keep chooks anymore. It was too hard to keep them alive in the stinking heat. I don't know how the farmers do it. They must have air conditioning or some way of keeping them cooler in those big frickin' factories, you know, but it's awful. It was just so awful losing my beautiful little birds one by one. 5:07 a.m. Home from another awesome night. Thank you, Tarina and Antonio, for the drinks. Wow, we had so much fun dancing wildly with Mission X. A nice lady in the ladies' room gave me a mirror compact with a sugar skull on it, just randomly. I still use it too. Whoever that lady was, she was a Pacific Islander, I think, but it was just so random. I didn't even know her. Just said, I want you to have this. Wasn't that gorgeous? I was surprised but accepted it graciously. I was given lots of lovely compliments on my outfit. I feel really loved and valued. Such a nice feeling. The past 3 nights have been really lovely and my beautiful friends have spoilt me. 31st of January 2015, 8:05 p.m. Done napping for the day. Time to play. Who's in? Yes, the new person I am being right now is free of others' spite, others' envy, and others' judgment. The person I am, is loved, protected, respected, cared for, and is a pleasure to know and be with. The energy field that is me is love, peace, and happiness. I am safe, comfortable, and valued. Affirmations, people. Affirmations. How timely after Lana's drunken, vicious verbal vomit last night. Her fury that I rejected her friendship, which was toxic, led her to slander me to my former lover, which was Dave, and every acquaintance she knows I know. Yet she is still not my true enemy, that vile, cunning creature who got me banned from the pub, Sarah. And I am still not given, in writing, an actual reason. Behaviour issues? What behaviour? I have always acted honourably and defensively under attack. I never gossiped or slandered like Lana, dearest, and I never actually deserved any of this shit. So what is wrong with this picture? Bemused and confused, but as always happens in my life, the truth will set me free, and my enemies, inadequate, pathetic slimeballs, will wither and slither away in the dried grasses of their hatred and spite. Crawl on their bellies in the gutter, vomiting out their own bile. What will I do? Try not to have a bad case of schadenfreude like I had with Gila of Today Tonight infamy, or just merely pity them, I guess. I do blame myself for attracting these creeps into my life in the first place. They wanted to steal my joy or live vicariously through me, too weak to form their own identity, as I have had to fight to form mine, fight to keep my head when all about me were losing theirs and blaming it on me. Fractured people with weak minds and black souls, shattered reflections of the mirror my evil family held up for me, the script they wanted me to live by, be hateful and weak and soulless like them, seduce only to abuse over and over again. I shall overcome. I did laugh last night at how my sister would have been sickened by my friendship with a homeless man who actually cares about helping me and gives me the best hugs. That was my friend Brian. I can see her face pinching in horror and saying, "How ghastly!" Well, she is the ghastly one. Hatred and judgment and vitriol for the marginalised, the sick, the poor, and the betrayed doth not maketh the man or woman. So glad I am not cut from the same cloth. True friends love you, care for you, and never hurt you. True lovers also. 5:05 p.m. Penny Cat and I were just woken by thunder. What a beautiful sound to awaken to. The promise of rain to break the stifling humidity. Pardon me. And here it comes. The little burps along the way as well. Oh dear goddess. Shiver me timbers, sailors. Last night my friend Brian took me skip diving. He got me an awesome ladder, which I have been desperately manifesting for the past few days, as I can't reach my windows outside to clean them. He grabbed 3 trays of prawns. I implored him not to eat them, but they didn't smell bad. It was nuts. He was happy with his prawns, and I was even happier with my ladder. Karen had really sore feet like me from dancing in our sexy high-heeled shoes, so we dropped Brian back to the casino and we went home to feast on more KFC. Then at 3ish, I started getting vicious calls from Lana. It was a distressing end to a great night out. She called 3 times until 5 a.m. I am going to ignore it. Trashy, horrible creature. Nasty little hobbitses, my precious. I rang the gentleman friend who she told me she had spoken to. That was Dave, by the way. And he agreed she is off her head. So now I know the lengths she will go to. Really amazed and disturbed at the same time. It's a funny old world, innit? Thank God that I had Karen here with me, and grateful that my man friend was so kind and understanding also. Or he presented that way in the beginning anyway. So glad to have such beautiful friends supporting me, which more than makes up for the evil people that still try to insert themselves into my life. I don't usually vote in person due to religious reasons. However, I didn't get around to organising a postal vote, so I trudged down in the heat. LNP were at the front gate, liberally waving their propaganda. I just sneered and carried on down the path. The Greens lad, young and handsome, having seen me sidestep the sidewinding libs, gave me a sweet, hopeful smile. I returned his sweetness with a grin of my own. Next in line were the boys in red. I took their pamphlet and marched on in. The lads almost cheered as they saw the grim look of determination on my face. I voted and got the hell out of there, to an overly cheery goodbye from the Libs lad at the front gate. You have to laugh. Now to hope that the rest of Queensland saw the light and gets rid of that fascist sycophant, Abbott's hand puppet, or should we say finger puppet. Size. What a day. 3:48 a.m. Came home with Karen. We were enjoying a foot soak in Epsom salts when I got harassment phone calls from Lana. Really nasty stuff. Apparently, everyone thinks I am a freak, and she is making it a mission to approach men I have had a brief relationship with and tell them vile things. Another stalker. Mind blown. I will keep her vicious voicemails and show them to the police. This is really getting over the top. I should just call her Mum. She's behaved exactly like my mother, another psychopath. My God, when will this end? I just rejected another call from her. Oh well, gonna get some rest. 31st of January 2013. Watching Prometheus last night. I just want to go back and see what year that was with the Lana stalking and bullshit, because Dave was in my life at that time and I didn't. It must have been because I didn't hook up with him till 2014. Oh yeah, it was 2015. Oh yes, well that was the Annus Horribilis of all Anni Horribili. That was the year that nearly ended my life, people. Foul it was. with that fucking piece of shit Lana, and them all aligning with her, really, pretending to be my friend behind my back, stabbing me every opportunity. Bastardry it was. Anyway, so 2 years prior, on 2013, watching Prometheus. Last night I watched Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. A nice movie. Prometheus is awesome. Interesting that it is almost always the female who survives to make another sequel in the Alien movies. I really like that. The warm, fecund womb of a human female outstripping the reptilian replicator par excellence that progenites via death or gene copying. Interesting. I still feel weak in body, almost faint. However, I took Miss Bella Rosa for a walk to the dog park. On the return trip, we passed a group of children joyously playing. One little girl stood at their front gate and was singing. I asked her what she was singing. She told me, "Just a song I made up." I said, "Sing it for me then. I would love to hear it." So she began with the words, "I have everything I need." I was so surprised I failed to comprehend the rest of her little ditty, for the message had been received. I thanked her for her song and adjured her to keep on singing, little one. She waved happily. I had met another little witch like me, manifesting potentialities by her sweet song. I said, "Bless you, child." My spirit felt lighter. Life is a miracle. And yes, receiving spiritual messages literally out of the babes, the mouth of babes, was rather astonishing. I have everything I need. And in time, I will have the love that I've long yearned for too. It is coming, people. I've waited 6 decades, but it's coming. You have to laugh. 31st of January 2012. Almost 3 a.m. I must be lonely. Spent the night grading limes from my tree and squeezing their juice and freezing them down. Still more to do, but my hand hurts from all that effort. My hands are actually, all the veins are sticking out. Oh, you can't really see it. It's not too bad today, but this vein here is a worry. And yeah, they're all a bit swollen, but that could be the effects of the new drug I'm on too. And yes, also I worked hard the last 3 days on my bracelet, which I will show you when I finish this reading, okay? So I got my hair done today. It's brown with some blonde foils to counteract the 3 inches regrowth and bad blonde job. Lol. I miss being blonde, though my hair looks more natural now. I also did a few loads of washing tonight. Feel confident we will get sunshine tomorrow or later today. That would have probably been the first time I went to Kylie, my hairdresser, who I've been with ever since. So my goodness, that means I've been with her 12 years. 12 years, people. Anyway, she's a wonderful woman, my hairdresser. To you, Kylie. Just trying to figure out who the dog's barking at. Don't see any reason for him to be barking. Woke up at 3 p.m, slept from 3:30-ish a.m. Lol, 12 hours, man. Feeling currently a tad fractious and bored. Storm coming. Damn, need to get washing dry before the weather breaks, lol. Haven't eaten yet today. Almost 6 p.m, so need to eat something. Weird appetite changes. Oh my goodness, when will I have peace again? 31st of January 2011. Mondayitis. It's a baking hot day, so I decided to go to the local swimming pool. On the way I stopped off to get a few essentials and had a weird hypo-anxiety attack and broke into a sweat and went all pale and ooky because I looked everywhere for a plastic spoon in the IGA so I could eat a yogurt I'd purchased there. And they had the nerve to tell me they didn't sell spoons and I had to get one elsewhere. Insanity. So by the time I got to a little cafe there and discovered the Asian owners could barely understand my English. How do people run a business when their English is so poor I can't guess? I was having quite a sweaty little meltdown. The guy took pity on me. He probably thought I was on drugs, right? Which in those days I was on drugs. I was on heavy psych meds, but I was genuinely having some kind of weird hypo. I don't know what else to call it. I was on the brink of fainting. It was awful. I still remember it, and now that I'm reminded of this, I still remember it to this day. The guy took pity on me and not only found me a spoon/fork thingy, they didn't have plastic spoons either, but was kind enough to get me some water without me even asking for it. So he could see I was ill, right? So I bought some chips from them, thinking the carbs will give me a pep up, and ate my yogurt as well. Jesus. By the time I attempted to get my swim at Carina Public Pool, I was beaten to the last park in the parking lot, and this was too much. So I came back home to settle my nerves and relax at my own pace here. What a bothersome day. I'd also been looking for poster sticking holder thingies that you can peel off the wall when you want to remove the cards or posters. They were expensive in every shop I went to, so I decided to wait until I can get to the discount shop in Wynnum, which I know sells them for a fraction of the price. So today was a day of non-achievement, but some days really are better for staying in bed, or at least staying home from all the irritations out there. Lol. Nocturnal activity. I have drilled and screwed my pine armrests on my renovated cast iron outdoor chairs. I was out on a few holes, so there are a few extra in places. Oi. But I don't care really. It's only so I can sit and put my arms up and laugh at my amateurish efforts to do carpentry. Lol. I also laid the heavy pavings I schnorred from the council collection week. I need loads more, so it looks kind of strange, but I'll figure out a way to get more and sort of hide the fact that nothing matches. Poverty, people, bloody poverty. But I make things work because I have to. It's a lovely, cool evening, but it was such a hot day that I really need to take a shower. I didn't want to come indoors and was still plutzing over my chairs when it got too dark to see, so I'll have to screw down one of the wooden armrests in daylight tomorrow. It's funny how I only get motivated to do anything in the evenings. Should have been a vampire. But then I'd miss the colours of my garden too much. And my then friend, Heather Abramson wrote, "Good on you, handy woman." Me. I finished off last night by hanging up a wooden curtain pole in the spare bedroom so I could hang up the blue velvet drapes I lovingly steam cleaned months ago. Probably should clean them again, it's been years. They'd be full of dust. I bet you if I wash them now they'll just rot because they're still from my mum. Here I write, I brought them here from mum's and they were really dirty. Yeah, they'll be dirty again. It's been years. Should have a proper look at them. I'm too scared to though because I can't afford more curtains. But yeah. It was a hell of a job trying to hang the pole up in the hot room. Also very hard to measure accurately. Definitely a two-person job. But I can't get anyone to help me, even after much nagging. Thanks, guys. So it all looks very nice. If it's not completely symmetrical, I don't even care. That's what happens when you have some wine and schwitz in the heat to try to sort out your overcrowded, overcluttered house. Now, at least, I don't have velvet drapes lying around uselessly on the chair. So a huge relief to have them up on the window where they belong. 31st of January 2009. Thank God for Jared. He took me to the art gallery for some cultural stimulation and a dose of optimism. That's what the show was called. My friend Daniel Sloan wrote, that's Lynn's daughter, wrote, I have wanted to go and see that. Is it good? Me, well, it's pretty trippy. Not sure whether it should be called opticrap or not, but it is certainly interesting overall. Go see it and judge for yourself. Jared replied, all I can say is that I left the exhibit with a different outlook. And before we conclude today's readings, I'll bring you my bracelet that I finished last night because I'm proud of it and I've got bragging rights because I can. I'll be back in a moment. So here she is, all bent. That's the tongue I made, and the little gold balls that I harvested from my computer hard drive, and soldered on eyes, which initially when I first made this I glued them on, but the glue had come unstuck over time, so I had to solder them. Oh my goddess, that was epic, soldering on the eyes and resetting them. And here's the little clasp I made myself, which that bit there had actually melted off and I had to fuse it back on. So that was a task. And yes, I know this bit's on crooked. So if I was going to be pedantic, I would go in and melt it and straighten it, but I don't want to because I risk melting the whole thing again. So I might leave it. It can just be crooked. I don't care because it's just for me. I'm not selling it. And anyway, here we go. I'll put it on, show you. I'm very proud of it, in spite of its little flaws. I'm very proud of this piece. Very, very proud of it. Worked so hard on it. 3 days. A total of 20 hours, but I spread out over 3 days. But in actual fact, it took longer than 20 hours to make because the initial forming of it when I first got it, and smashing down the spoon to make the snake and cutting the shape of the snake out. So there was quite a few hours went into that too. So this piece has been epic. I'm having trouble putting it on now, can you believe it? Oh my goddess. I got it on yesterday without any trouble. Why is it not going? I made it a fraction bit tighter because it used to slide up and down my arm when I was dancing, and I don't want that. Don't want it sliding up and down. Why can't I do it? Well, anyway, it does go on. I had it on last night. So, unless... we'll do it this way. There's always another way to skin a cat, people. Always another way. That's another thing I need a man for, right? To help me put on my bracelets. Not. I did have one suitor. I call them suitors because they never manifested into being actual partners. A redhead guy at the Irish Murphys, and I was dancing wildly one night. This would have been back in around about 2000. It was before I fell in love with Dave Schmo. So here we go. I've got it on now. Would have been around about 2013. Well, maybe it might have been later, maybe 2015. I can't remember exactly now. But anyway, he was quite sweet to me. He was quite romantic, that young man. He was too young for me and too fucking crazy. But he really was quite crazy. Brilliant. Worked in IT. Brilliant mind, but alcoholic. Was drunk all the time. Used to invite me out on dates. And then when it came to it, well, that doesn't work. It won't flip around. Okay, but it fits. It does fit. Anyway, I can't be bothered fiddling with it now. I can't be bothered fiddling with it. Anyway, but he was a very nice man. His name was Steph, and he was sweet on me like you wouldn't believe, but completely acopic. Said something along the lines of, "Oh, I don't know how to handle women." I said, "Well, you've done fine. You've been very romantic towards me. You've been very sweet. There's no reason why you can't get yourself a woman." But anyway, he came from Bundaberg originally. Anyway, there was one night I was dancing wildly, as I always do, at Irish Murphys back in the day. So it would have been before 2000, February 2015 when I left that space. And anyway, my necklace came undone or something, and I was struggling to put the latch on. Anyway, he stepped up behind me. All the men in the pub were like, including Dave. So it must have been 2014 because Dave was sort of in my life at that point in time. They're all like, and this lovely young man, he was a lovely young man to me, really. He was doing up my necklace for me, and his hands were shaking. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Oh, I'm just so nervous, just putting a necklace on around my neck." It was a bit bizarre, but he was a bit sweet on me, obviously, but he couldn't pull it together. He invited me on 3 separate occasions. One time he invited me to go to the Brisbane Film Festival, and I said, "Oh yes, I'd love to go to that with you." Like I gave him clear indication that I was keen to go with him, to go out with him and to go to a film festival especially. Never heard from him for that, didn't follow through. And there was another time he invited me to go somewhere else. I can't remember what the other thing was. Might have been to the art gallery. These were all perfectly acceptable places to go on a kind of a date with a woman. I thought a little bit highbrow, a little bit intellectual and something nice to do and spend time with a nice man, and we could have discussed the art, and or in case of the film festival we could have, discussed the movies and had conversation. Never followed through. So after the second time he invited me out sort of on a date, I thought, you're disingenuous, I can't be bothered. So he went, oh yeah, I'd love to go to that. We had swapped phone numbers. And then one time I dropped him home from the pub to his home. So I kind of knew where he lived, you know. And then another time, a bit later on, he said, why haven't you come to visit me? I said, what do you mean? He says, well, you know where I live. And I went, I'm not just going to randomly rock up to some man's house uninvited. He said, oh, why not? I wish you would. He was that freaking weird, you know. And I said, no, if you want me to visit you, you need to organise things properly and do things properly. And he just looked at me. Anyway, and then there was another time I was at the pub and he was kissing some woman, much younger woman, closer to his age, which I thought was appropriate actually. So I just smiled and nodded and went off gracefully, you know. And then there was another time we were dancing wildly at the actual Treasury Casino, and he said, oh, would you come out and sit outside with me at Queen's Park? I said, oh yeah, if you'd like. So we sat down on the grass and we were chatting, and he actually kissed me. He was a terrible kisser, to be honest. I won't hold that against him though, but he wasn't a great kisser. But anyway, so he sort of flubberied around with this terrible kiss. And of course, George, the busker's playing guitar, and George is a friend of mine. He's rubbernecking, watching all this. A few other regulars going up and down, all watching. And I was like, does my love life have to be a fucking public display? Does everyone have to get on and have a fucking ride? Like, it's kind of embarrassing. So anyway, I wasn't real happy about that, but I thought, oh well, what do you expect when you sit out with a drunk man in the park and chat to him as friends, and he's trying to be romantic and sweet, you know. He really was quite sweet, Steph, he really was, but he couldn't pull it together. He couldn't make a commitment in any real way, and every time I saw him after that, he was always so fucking drunk, you know. He'd run up to me on the dance floor on my spot, all eager, and dance around me, and I'd always acknowledge him because we were friends. I did like him, you know. I had no reason to dislike him. He hadn't done me any real harm, apart from, you know, starting that pattern that Dave had of shoving new flames in my face, which didn't really bother me since I wasn't in love with him, you know. But we were friends. And anyway, that just reminded me struggling to put on my bracelet, of how that went all kind of awry. If I'm struggling to put on the bracelet, you know what this means. I'm going to have to put in another link and make it a little bit bigger. But hang on, here we go. Because I don't want it so loose that it flips all over the place while I'm dancing, because that's how things get broken and can cause injury too, you know. So, anyway, almost got it. Just got to persevere sometimes. We're almost there. I don't need a man. I'm an independent woman. I'm vibrant and wild and carefree and a bit fucking fierce. Anyway, little Steph wanting to show off to all the Treasury Casino that he kissed the Tanya. One of the few men to actually get kissed by me, by the way. It's a rarity. So you have to laugh. I obviously was seriously considering, you know, giving him an opportunity to be a lover or a boyfriend at the time, because he was intelligent and had a good sense of humour and a bit of fun, you know, when he wasn't completely paralytic drunk. Got kicked out a few times out of the casino. Yes, I've done it. He got kicked out a few times out of the casino because he would just get so fucking drunk, which is a shame, because he had a lot to offer the world apart from his alcoholism. He had a great deal to offer the world. He was a lovely man. There, done it. But it took a bit of wrangling. So, what shall I do, people? Shall I put in another link or shall I just leave it? I've worked so hard on this bracelet, it's got to the point I don't want to see it again. It's like, okay, I'm done now. I'm exhausted from dealing with you. That's probably how men feel about me, right? They want you to be easy and compliant and sycophantic and submissive and grovel at their feet and nuh-uh fool. I had a lifetime of being brutalised. I grovel for no man. Well, anyway, that's not sitting right because it's got caught in the... It has to come off or it will break. Right, the answer to that is I will have to put in another link because for some reason it's smaller than it used to be, which doesn't make sense. Because when I had the other link in it, it was way too loose and it used to drive me nuts, and now it's too tight. So, what to do? Trying not to panic, people. So now I've got it on, I'll leave it on, right, for the day. Wear it with pride. No one's going to see it because I'm not going anywhere. Anyway, enough plutzing. Enough fucking plutzing. On that note, have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening. No, I won't give in. I want you to see it on me properly. Yes, gaga, that's why it was too tight. It was caught over the... And here we have it. Here we have it, my darlings. We'll do it this way so it reflects the light. There we have it, my beautiful bracelet I've worked so hard on. I know it's no big deal to most people. Probably some of you think it's even ugly, but, you know, each to their own. I'm proud of it. I've worked so freaking hard on it. I'm loving the... Got to catch the light. I'm loving the rock crystal eyes. So, yes, very happy with that. Very, very happy. I might actually put just one more little link so it's not such a struggle to do up, which will involve soldering again. But yes, it does fit. It doesn't move too much anymore. So, and it does fit. I just have to wrangle it a bit. Like all good serpents, it needs to be wrangled. So on that note, have a beautiful day in the space-time continuum, people. Live your best life. Live joyously. Kiss your true beloveds. Make sure you're a good kisser, because otherwise it's just a waste of time, darlings. And I'm being mean now, but it's true. He and I obviously didn't have the same passion, you know, that arouses between a man and a woman. You know when there's the real strong, powerful spiritual connection, because a kiss can seem like fucking nirvana if it's the right man. That's been my experience anyway. Anyway, it's been years since I've kissed a man and years since I've made love with a man, so there is that. But I do have some memories of some passionate encounters that were indeed lovely, and unfortunately they turned into toxic nightmares from hell, which was not lovely. So looking forward to the time when I meet a man who not only is a wonderful kisser and a wonderful lover, but actually deeply loves me in every other aspect as well, and is loyal and faithful to me, and yeah, is a true partner to me in every way. could happen. Like my bracelet I had to work so hard at. It could manifest one day. So, blessed be from sacred space at Titania's realm. Don't mind this old girl getting all romantic and a bit pathetic and weird going off in the summer heat. I do that. I do that all year round. All 4 seasons in one day, babies. But anyway, enjoy your day. It's a lovely day today. I'm going to go out and take Charlie and sit in the garden. Enjoy a day free of rain for a change. And yeah, blessed be.